today, things. Talking about things.
But not just any things.
Lots of things.
The bad things.
The bad things.
The bad things.
The good things too, though.
The good things that can come from avoiding the bad things.
Because when you realize the bad things that you might be doing, then all the good things should happen to you.
Correct.
So mistakes.
Regret.
Frustration. All of that can be avoided today by watching our top 5 tips on the biggest mistakes that first-time Disney goers can make. Number 5, the weather is something that people don't necessarily plan for when they're thinking about their Walt Disney World vacation. Usually they're thinking about just being there and getting to the rides and enjoying, but they're not thinking about the inclement weather that can sometimes pass through the state of Florida. It's beautiful here. It's sunny most of the time, but it can get pretty extremely hot sometimes. You're gonna need some sort of sunscreen, maybe a hat, maybe even a cool towel or a fan to be able to cool yourself off throughout the day at the park so that you can avoid heat exhaustion. Oh, and definitely water. Stay hydrated. But that's not all the weather that can happen here. It can also get really rainy.
Yep. Speaking of water, I find that Florida has 3 seasons for the most part. Season number 1 is the surface of the sun, because that's where it gets incredibly hot and it's really difficult to be outside during midday. Season number 2 is thunderstorm season, where we have thunderstorms literally every afternoon or evening. And season number 3 is the very short period of time, December until maybe March, where it gets cooler. Now, let's talk about this rainy season. If you're coming usually in the late summer, bring your own rain jacket. You're going to be so much happier if you do. Find one that's compact and maybe can zip into a tiny little pouch so it doesn't take up a ton of space in your bag. Yes, the parks have ponchos and other different types of rain gear for purchase, but I find that the majority of them end up taking up a little bit more space in my bag than I like, so bringing your own that's more compact and maybe can be zipped and just clipped onto the side of your bag is a really great idea. So that leaves more room in your bags for other things, jackets, coats, and all the things that you want to bring to the park to be able to enjoy yourself.
Likewise, you might want to leave space in your bag if you're traveling during some of the winter months here when it can get very cold. Bringing a jacket, a sweatshirt is very important when it can get down to 50, 40, and to some of you, those might sound like pretty beautiful temperatures to be outside. But because of the humidity in Florida, it feels very different. It feels even colder than it normally would. So definitely pack a sweatshirt or something if your vacation lies within a time where the temperatures dip below.
The 4th thing on our list of things that first-time Disney goers may miss or make a mistake not doing is not making an advanced dining reservation. Now, the advanced dining reservation system is where you can book a reservation at any of the table service restaurants at Walt Disney World 180 days in advance. With that, if you're staying, and that's for everybody, that's whether you're staying on or off Disney property. You do get an added benefit if you're staying on Disney property of being able to book your entire trip's worth of advanced dining reservations when your first day is 180 days out. So the benefit is, let's say on the 7th day of your trip you wanted to go somewhere special, like Cinderella's Royal Table. You'd be able to book that Cinderella's Royal Table 187 days out, which is sooner than the rest of the guests who are not staying on Disney property. This gives you that little leg up to be able to get some of those hard to reserve reservations. Now, why this is so important. Everyone needs a little bit of a break on your Walt Disney World vacation where you can sit down, relax, and have a little bit of family time or time with your significant other to regroup. I'll also say that you can't live off of just chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and hamburgers. You're going to want to have some of the great food that Disney has to offer. That's why we find these dining reservations to be so important. Some of the food that I've had at Disney is possibly some of the best food that I've had, period. and I think it would be a big miss if you didn't take advantage of it while you were here.
And no worries either, because if you do decide to make a dining reservation and then you come to your vacation and decide, oh no, I don't have time to do this reservation I wanted, I want to go here instead, you can change your reservation around. They ask for at least 24 hours notice. So you can change it, move it, cancel it, whatever you need to do. And if it's after the 24-hour period, just note that if you do cancel your reservation, that sometimes they can charge a $10 fee per person. So the best thing to do is just call and see what they can do to help you out.
Yep, Disney's all about customer service. They're always willing to help
customer service. No way, it's guest service, because you are the guests.
Yes. But for everybody else out there in YouTube land who doesn't know that, customer service. So take advantage of the amazing dining opportunities and let us know what your favorite is below if you've ever done one before, so other people can kind of catch on as well.
Our number 3 mistake that Disney goers make on their vacations is not making any fast passes in advance. Especially first-time Disney goers tend to not even know what a fast pass is. So we highly recommend that you do some research and see what fast passes to what rides you want before your Disney vacation. For those of you who are staying on Walt Disney World Resort property, you can make your fast pass experiences up to 60 days in advance. And for those of you who are not staying on Disney property, you have 30 days prior to make all your FastPass selections. There's tons of different rides and experiences at each different park, so the best way to make your FastPasses is to try to lay out which days you want to go to which parks, and then make your 3 selections based off of that.
Yep, and you can modify them, move them around if your plans do change. You're not locked into one single set of fast passes. I'll also say if you're staying at a Disney resort, you get that 60 days in advance. You can also take that 60 days and book your entire trip, just like the advanced dining reservations. You can book your entire trip's worth of fast passes up to 14 days from when your first day is 60 days out. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but when you make your reservation, the My Disney Experience app shows you what you're allowed to do, and they make a huge difference. Now, if you don't know anything about Fast Passes, we have a Fast Pass Basics Guide, we have the Ultimate Guide to be able to get the most out of your Fast Passes, and we'll put those in the little cards that should be right up here.
And if you also haven't checked out the other videos we've made, if you don't know what to make a Fast Pass for, we also have our top 5 videos about the top 5 Fast Passes to make at each and every park.
Yep, all of these just to make sure you get the most out of your Disney trip. Our second item on the mistakes that first-time Disney goers often make is over-planning. Now, I grew up in a family where we would have an Excel spreadsheet for every Disney vacation. It was color-coded. We knew what park, when, how, all our dining reservations planned down to 15-minute blocks, which were represented by the blocks within Excel. You do not need to do this. And I've seen even more extreme. I've seen plans down to what rides are going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd through 9 throughout the day so that people can maximize their time. Now, this can be wonderful, or this can be your greatest curse. The reason I say that is that when you make that detailed of a plan, as soon as something goes wrong, let's say there's an increased wait for a ride or a delay, or, I mean, every once in a while rides can break down and need some refurbishment and they don't work. That's when your plans go totally haywire and it can feel like the day is lost. And we don't want that for you. Plans of maybe what parks you're going to be going to, making some fast passes in advance, and having a dining reservation, those are loose plans. It gives you freedom to be able to enjoy a street performance if it shows up in front of you, or maybe take some of the transportation down Main Street USA. All of that being said, try not to over-plan, but give yourself a loose itinerary that allows you the flexibility to enjoy some of the fun little things that you may not have known existed.
Our number 1 mistake that Disney goers make on their vacations: doing the parks all day long. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Ugh. It's a terrible mistake because People think that they're gonna get there right at rope drop, which is opening of the park, and get all their rides in, see everything they need to see, eat where they wanna eat, shop where they wanna shop, and stay to the fireworks, and everybody's gonna be happy and merry all the way until they go home. And it just doesn't work that way. It's very warm in Florida, there's other types of weather to deal with, as we have mentioned, and you're going to get very tired in the sun, walking around, doing all of the things that you want to do. So instead, here's your new tactic, here's your new goal. Go to the parks in the morning where you're recharged, refreshed, and ready for your day. Enjoy what you are there to enjoy. When you start needing a midday break, maybe for lunch or something like that, head back to your resort, get some lunch, maybe spend some time at the pool so that you can cool off, and then maybe even nap. You'll get a nice recharge for your evening and you can go out and enjoy the fireworks again.
Yep, and even after the fireworks, like Emmy said, early morning and late at night after the fireworks are always the coolest and quietest parts of the day. You'll get more done in the early morning and late at night than you could ever take care of during the middle of the day. And it's much more enjoyable because it's a heck of a lot cooler. So take advantage of those times and we promise you will get that much more out of your Walt Disney World vacation.
We want to thank you guys for watching our top 5 videos. I want to know, and he wants to know, what your biggest mistake was as a first-time Disney goer. Leave it in the comments below so that we can know. I know that my biggest mistake was when I went on a sister's Disney trip. It was amazing. It was so much fun, but every single minute was planned and it was the longest day. We did a rope drop to pretty much getting kicked out of the park. And we were walking back to our resort and my sister said, "Oh no, I forgot the key!" And this was before Magic Bands. I was going to lay down in that bed that had my name on it. And I was not gonna let that door close and have a situation happen. So I took every last bit of energy I had at the end of the night and I leapt at that door and I smashed it open with my whole body and it fell to the ground. And then my sister said, "Em, I was just kidding." What? And I had this moment of realization that I was so overtired. I just like happy cried on the floor for a minute. Like, I can't believe you just made me do that. It was really funny looking back on it, but at the time it was such a moment. And I don't want it to happen to all of you.
So take the advice that we have given and don't end up crying on the floor of your resort, whether it's due to saving a door or not. It can be done with less tears, I promise. I know I'm thinking back, my family was we were a group of planners. And I think that might have been one of our greatest assets, but could have been some of our biggest downfalls. It was so much fun to plan though, having the Excel spreadsheets, knowing where we were going, thinking about going to the water parks, but eventually it became, if you didn't follow the itinerary, all things were going to turn into chaos. So yeah, that goes into that overplanning. That comes from experience. So definitely take our warning and do the best you can to have a very loose plan. You know, if you like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up button down below, subscribe to our channel, and hit that little bell icon if you'd like notifications each time we make a new video. Let's say you're making a plan to go on a Walt Disney World vacation, or it's somewhere in the future and you need someone to bounce ideas off us, or you just want a buddy to be able to talk about it and help you with some of these plans, shoot me an email at dougdoestravel@gmail.com. I am a Disney vacation planner and part of an earmarked Disney travel agency, so I would be glad to help you out, and all my services are totally free. So you just get a buddy to be able to help you plan who's local and makes crazy Disney YouTube videos. We hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye. That's where we ended.